Hi Virginia, it's Betsy Colley, Senior SFG. I wanted to make you a quick video for your knee replacement clients, the one who's post knee replacement and the one that's needing knee replacement. You are correct, you need to be very safe with those individuals. However, there's many ways you can get them moving that knee joint safely without load bearing. It is recommended probably that you stay away from squats, lunges, things like that, single leg deadlift even for some people who are just not ready for that yet. Either due to the fact that they haven't had that knee replacement yet or post knee replacement, they're just not firing in all the other musculature that's needed, for example, in a single leg deadlift for stabilization. But there are ways you can move. One of the things that I thought of when I was thinking about the act of moving that knee joint safely was simply just doing some unloaded movement with the knee joint. And that would be, for example, lying on your back and having them lift their knee up in the air and simply taking elbow to knee. One of the things that this is good for is it's also working your abs, your vestibular system in cross-body action while you're moving the knee joint. Now, if this is still too much movement for their knee, just have them come up a little bit with less of a knee bend and come up that way. It might look more like this: forearm to knee, forearm to knee, forearm to knee, forearm to knee, and go with the intention of straightening the leg at the bottom, pressing through the heels, turning on all the other musculature around that knee joint for safety and strength building. From there, if they're good with that and you still are trying to get them to use more kettlebell work, one of your clients, you had said you've got them doing seated presses. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. You can have them doing seated presses on the floor. It actually would be better for them and more work involved to be able to straighten their knees, sit up nice and tall using their hip flexors and abs, and press this way. They would curl the bell up, press it up, pull down, press it up, pull down. Bring it down with two hands for safety, go to the other side. This is also working their hip flexors, their abs, their back contraction, their ability to sit up nice and tall on their sits bones. When they rest between sets, they can bring their legs in, shake it out a little bit, whatever's gonna be beneficial for their hip flexors. But that is another way you can work your press without putting any pressure on the knee joint. The other thing is the get up. You can do the get up, sit up part without going into the knee problem. So if I'm here, I'm just gonna roll up to the sit up position, right? Nice and tall, tall on the hand. If this knee cannot bend that much, you can take it out a little bit. They just may practice this motion with no weight. Roll up to the hand, to the elbow, nice and contracted, rolling back. As they get stronger with that, they'll be able to add weight. In terms of other movement patterns that don't involve the knee, there's tons of things they can be doing. One in particular is the hollow drill, where we're really focusing on lats, abs, pelvic tilt. It's basically a drill used to bring practice to total body tension. It's what we use to get better at pull-ups, to find total body tension. It's a skill that needs to be practiced by all of us. So what we're doing with that hollow drill is you're pelvically tilting under. You're gonna ask your student to take their legs in the air wherever they can maintain a flat back on the floor. So some people may be up here, nice and flat on their back. Some people may be down here. It's wherever they can control that tension. But when you're there, you're either gonna have your arms down by your side or in this pull-up position here. And you're gonna hold this for about 15 seconds, driving the shoulders down into the shoulder socket, engaging your lats, head is off the floor, and you're in one straight line from your scapula to your sits bone. Then relax and do it again. That's an excellent skill that everyone should be able to do to practice and get better without doing any harmful impact to the knees. They'll get stronger in their body and they'll be able to move better. Once the fear of moving that knee joint is improved, you may be able to take them to a hip hinge. Doesn't mean you need to load them heavy in a deadlift yet, but you can practice that hip hinge. I'm gonna try to get on the camera here. Because what you're doing is, in a hip hinge, you're not pushing back into the knees and loading the knee joint. You want to fold at the hip line where your glutes are carrying most of the load, your glutes and hamstrings, and then simply come up from there. So what your client can do is practice your hip hinge against the wall, tap the wall, squeeze your glutes, come back up, pull your kneecaps up, push back. This is probably, to me, the most therapeutic thing the person can do for their new knees, because that knee replacement is designed to move. And the only way you're going to get them doing that safely is taking them through painfully slow and teaching them what muscles need to be contracted in this position. So right now, to recap that, I'm pushing through my heels, I'm pushing my glutes back, and you're going to have to tell them what it feels like to pack their shoulders and create that nice flat back with braced abs. But once they're in this position, you can have them lift their toes and make them feel all the load that you've put on their hamstrings and glutes, and not their knee joint. And then squeeze. So it's about teaching their body to use the other musculature instead of repeatedly loading a knee joint like that, okay? That would be my biggest cue for you to get them moving safely. And I guarantee you, even without a kettlebell in their hand, if they're not ready for that yet, the act of doing 20 of these butt taps to the wall in correct hip hinge position with correct muscle contraction at the very finish right here, in that zipped up feeling, will give them a huge workout. So let me know how it goes. If you need more exercise tips, I'm happy to give you some more. But try those first and let me know. Thanks.